All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay and Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
On the run, this is Hunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 22 carries, 136 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
They run with Hunt, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And his throw here is incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Russell Wilson keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team. and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Him over, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 51 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On play action, it's Carr. Looking deep in the direction of, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Dayon Buchanan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 4 catches, 63 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, Sometimes you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is caught by Allen for a Bronco touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Returnable for Lockett. Oh, nice move. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And to give this time to the tailback. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now it's Lockett. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Now he's going to... It got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On first down, Carr is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A Raider first down, 17 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Carr now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Harper. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Carr throwing on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Raiders on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Carr. Quick throw. That's complete on the inside slam. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this one is right through. And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them...
And coming out now, the Broncos. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now Wilson on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught by Allen for a Denver touchdown. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. So we've come up. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Carr. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
And that's his second sack of the game. But this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Justin Houston in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken on the 25. Wow, evasive.
Make him miss.
And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And the play clock's running down. Throwing is Wilson. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Keenan Allen, his third touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Broncos add on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throw on second down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Boy, another example there of how you've just got to be fearless to go over the middle in this league.
No doubt about it. And if you want to be known as a Pro Bowl type of a receiver, if you want to get to the Hall of Fame, you're going to have to make a good number of catches in that area. And how about the hit he took from the linebacker? That's where you really make it, because a lot of times that hit is coming from behind you, from over the top by a safety. In this case, it may well come from underneath with the linebacker dropping out from the middle.
Amari Cooper, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Raiders on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing his car on third down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run the counter now on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr over the middle. Cooper with it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A Raider. First down as Carr finds Cooper. Throwing on first down is Carr. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. The give to the fullback on the dive. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Carr. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
The Raiders on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Carr going to try and throw on third down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try to keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Now back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Maxwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Maxwell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Throwing again. Carr over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, Carr. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So the Broncos coming out now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Eddie Vanderdoes with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fields. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, now look at 56. All right, here we go. 56. Watch it now, Barney.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult. It often surprises me when they actually...
The Broncos send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the fourth in Cincinnati. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can win that game, it would mean win number 11 for them on the season. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Carr will try it again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
To throw on second down. Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He loses 5 full yards to bring up fourth. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they're going to bottom out here to wrap up this very forgettable season at 2-14. And it's fair to say wholesale changes will be forthcoming in the very near future.